What is going on, everyone, and welcome to part 1 of Enu's Naval PvP series. In part 1, we're going to be going over all the different type of shots you can do, as well as lead shotting. All in all, this is supposed to help you out on landing your shots being more accurate, as well as knowing how to hit your target and what options are available to you. So to start this off, I'm going to go over the 3 different types of shots you really have available to you. Now, we all know you enter rapid fire by pressing Q or E, depending on which way you're trying to look. And if you extend your cannons out and fire your shot, you're going to get this relatively high arcing shot. This will take you about 4 seconds to hit your target, but we have 3 different options available to us. Now, the first one will be your bread and butter. It's going to be your go-to, and it's called a bullet shot. You angle your cannons down, or your camera down as your cannons fire. You'll notice those shots stay very close to the water, and they reach your target much faster. This will make your shot reach your target in about 2 seconds as opposed to 4. Now, you're not always going to want to do a bullet shot, however. There's going to be situations where you might want to zone your target. Let's say you're vulnerable and you use your breezy at an inopportune time and you want to stall your opponent, not allow them to go in on you. You might want to do something we call a lob shot. A lob shot is quite the opposite of a bullet shot. You just look up in the air as you shoot, and you'll notice those cannonballs are floating much higher now. This will reach your target in about 6 seconds, so if you want to just zone your target out, you can look up as your shot fires. That will zone them out a good bit, and it could help you with your positioning. Everything is going to be situational in your fights depending on your target and your situation. You might want to do the bullet shot where you look down. You might want to lob where you look up. You might want to do it in the middle where it's just a normal shot. Or you can even switch it up and just do something weird where you look down and up, and you'll have this crazy ass spread on your shot. What you end up doing is going to have to be determined by yourself and your playstyle. The bread and butter typically is going to be that bullet shot, but don't do nothing but bullet shots. Mix things in there, be tricky. This is something Tofu does an amazing job at. She lands lob shots more than any other player, probably more than every player put together against me. But find what you like to do. Those are your options available to you. And let's jump into the next step, which would be lead shotting. Alright, so the next thing we're going to go over is lead shotting. If you shoot where your target is, your shot's going to be missing because your target is moving. That means we have to adjust and shoot ahead of your target, which would be called lead shotting. If you shoot ahead of your target will be going into your shot, thus taking damage from your shot. So you always keep in mind when your target is moving, you're going to have to adjust accordingly. So that means depending on how your opponent is turned or which direction they're going, you're going to have to adjust your lead shot. Here you can see the opponent is turning towards me, which means I'm going to have to shoot short. Shooting short because that if your opponent is coming towards you, they're coming in this direction. So you have to lead shot closer to you, which would then be in front of them. Now this also applies if you're chasing your target down. You're going to then have to lead shot in front of your target. So right now, with how far away from my target I am, I would not be able to land this shot quite yet. But once I'm this close, I can shoot in front of the target, and then I can land my shot. Note how I did not line that shot up on the boat. I lined it up well in front of the shot, because it's running away from me. This is the same concept, we're just lead shotting depending on which way that boat is facing. Now always keep in mind there's some exceptions to this. If your opponent knows how to dodge a shot, they might do something a little bit different. So for example, once I go to line the shot up, if I shoot in front of them, they might hold their turn like this. So you always have to keep in mind that you're projecting when you're going to shoot as you turn your cannons to face your opponent. Alright, another important information is timing breezy. If your opponent is using breezy, you're going to have to lead shot further than before. If you see, there's a bit of an acceleration there, so even though I did the lead shot, it wasn't quite enough. If you see the opponent is starting to move faster, you're going to have to adjust and do a much larger lead shot. So since we have to compensate a bit more, we're going to have to notice our opponent is using Breezy, which it's going to be activated right about there, and we're going to have to shoot quite a bit further ahead. So all in all, what I really suggest doing is you should watch the prow. That's what I like to do. I watch the prow to see which way my opponent is turning, whether they're turning towards me, turning away from me, diving me, running away. The prow is going to tell you which direction they're going. They might fake a wiggle or something like that, but that's going to be your most reliable bet. So using the proper combination of the shots we went over as well as the proper lead shots, this is going to help you be a lot more accurate. The more boat fights you do, the better your judgment will be on how far to lead shot or which direction to lead shot. Always keep in mind your opponent can be turning. You just want to look at that prow, make sure you adjust accordingly, and with some practice, you'll start nailing a lot more shots, being a lot more accurate, and even landing your shots faster. This is going to conclude part 1 of the boat PvP series. Hopefully this helps you out, and stay tuned for part 2, which is going to cover all the positioning, which is very important in boat fights. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. If you found this video helpful, by all means contact me. I stream 6 days a week over at Twitch, and we have a stream/YouTube Discord. Both links to those will be down in the description below. Thanks again for watching the video. You all take care and have a lovely day.